Believe it or not, Queensland holds the record for the most number of monorails in Australia and the longest running monorail in Australia. Starting with SeaWorld on the Queensland's Gold Coast, a 2-kilometre monorail operated from the 15th of August 1986 until 2022, when the construction of a new roller coaster came too close to the monorail track and it was decided to put the monorail to rest. This monorail was a 2-kilometre circuit track going around the SeaWorld theme park on Queensland's Gold Coast, Australia's home of theme parks, with Movie World and Wet n Wild at Helensvale and Dream World a bit further north at Coomera. The monorail trains that ran on the circuit were 3 9-car Von Roll Mark IIs with an operating speed of 27 km an hour or 17 miles per hour. The monorail system was opened on the 15th of August 1986 by Premier Sir Joe Bjelke-Petersen as Australia's first monorail system, with an extra train being added to the system after the conclusion of the highly successful World Expo 88 in Brisbane, which had a temporary monorail system constructed. There were 3 stations on the circuit, with the first being the main station, located at the front of the park near the Penguin Encounter. After taking a scenic journey alongside the Gold Coast Broadwater, the monorail passed several SeaWorld attractions, including the Dolphin Nursery, Fish Detectives Arena, Shopping Plaza, Ray Reef, and Polar Bear Shores. The second station was known as the Mid-Monorail Station, located near the centre of the park. The monorail then travelled past the water park and Castaway Bay, before arriving at the SeaWorld Resort and Water Park Monorail Station. This was convenient for guests staying at the resort. The final leg of the monorail circuit was the longest. It began by travelling alongside the Imagine Dolphin Show Arena and Dolphin Cove pools, before passing over Jet Rescue and through the Sea Viper. The track then runs alongside the main lagoon where Pirates Unleashed is held, before making a small circuit around the SeaWorld car park and returning to the main monorail station. All stations are located several metres above ground level and could be accessed by ramps or staircases. The World Expo 88 monorail. World Expo 88, also known as Expo 88, was a specialised expo held in Brisbane, the state capital of Queensland, during a 6-month period between Saturday the 30th of April 1988 and Sunday the 30th of October 1988. The theme of the expo was Leisure in the Age of Technology, and the mascot for the expo was an Australian platypus named Expo Oz. A Von Roll Mark II monorail was constructed for the World Expo 88 to take visitors quickly around the expo site. Costing 12 million Australian dollars, it consisted of 2 stations at either end of the site, 2.3 kilometres of track and 4 9-carriage trains. The route included going through the Queensland Pavilion, across the Pacific Lagoon and beside the Brisbane River. The system was able to carry 44,000 passengers per day. Following Expo, one of the trains and some track joined the existing SeaWorld monorail system at SeaWorld on the Gold Coast. The other 3 trains were brought back by Von Roll and are now running at the German theme park, Europa Park, in Rust since 1995. The $625 million fair was the largest event of the 1988 bicentennial celebrations of the arrival of the First Fleet in Sydney Harbour. Expo 88 attracted more than 15,760,000 visitors, who bought tickets worth $175 million. The event achieved both its economic aims and very good attendances, was successfully used to promote Queensland as a tourist destination, and it spurred a major redevelopment at the South Brisbane South Bank site. The core features of the site were the international pavilions. Many of the exposition's sculptures and buildings were retained by various entities around the state and are still in use or on display today. The Broadbeach Monorail. The Oasis Shopping Centre is located on the Broadbeach Mall in Broadbeach, Gold Coast, Queensland. The Oasis Monorail connected the beach, shopping, Sofitel Gold Coast Resort and Jupiter's Hotel and Casino. It had 2 stations on level 2 of the Oasis and a station at Jupiter's Hotel and Casino. Originally known as the Gold Coaster, the monorail opened to passengers in 1989 along with the shopping centre. In 2001, the operator acquired the majority of the track and trains originally used at the Merry Hill Shopping Centre in England. In late 2013, the monorail closed for maintenance, reopening to passengers on the 18th of December 2014. It closed permanently on the 29th of January 2017. Built in 1989, the Broadbeach monorail serviced thousands of passengers and quickly became an iconic tourist symbol for Gold Coast tourists travelling to and from the Oasis Shopping Centre and Jupiter's Casino. At one point in the late 1980s, it was planned to be part of a much larger 10-kilometre system that was to run up and down the heavily travelled Gold Coast corridor. That was killed by funding problems and resident opposition. The Gold Coast today continues to suffer with the congestion created by the well over 2 million visitors to the area each year. A unique aspect of this monorail is that the Oasis Mall it enters was designed with the system in mind. At one point, the trains quietly cruise right through a large atrium of the mall. Unfortunately, there are now no longer any monorails operating in Australia, which is a shame as the kids of the future will never have the opportunity to see such a unique and interesting mode of transport, nor have the thrill of travelling above the road or in and out of buildings. The Gold Coast now has a light rail system that operates between Helens Vale and, eventually, Burleigh, currently ending at Broadbeach. At completion, it will have 27 stations. The first section opened on the 20th of July 2014. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on Queensland's monorails.